All right, we are just a few days away from basketball, live basketball that we can watch in person. And we have a bunch of former Xavier players suiting up for Zip 'em Up once again. It's year 4 of Zip 'em Up, and we're going to talk a lot about it today. Who is we? It's me, Coop Ledford. It's Kenny Freese, and it's Jason Meyer. They call him Cap. He is the GM. Is that correct, Cap?
Director of Basketball Operations. Don't mess it up. The title's very important to me.
Director of Basketball Operations for Zip 'em Up. So, Cap, fill us in. What's going on with Zip 'em Up?
There's a lot going on. I just want to. Okay, so Coop, you have like the chillest energy of all time. I just want to let you guys know I'm like locked in. I'm in like a different mode. So like, if I'm normally like the fun Cap. You know what I mean? Like 11 months out of the year. Now I'm like serious Cap who actually can do something that helps impact Xavier basketball in some kind of way. So I'm just like in my like goat mode. You know what I mean? Like I'm not as funny as normal, but I'll be very serious. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is it's intense right now, Coop. It's fun. It's awesome. Life is good. We have our first practice on Monday. Players are flying in. It's go mode, baby. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited about this team. I can't wait to talk about it.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be. I've only been a part of it now. Like I've watched the TBT stuff from afar. Last year, obviously, I was able to be around it a lot more. Not so much this year, as much as that pains me to say, but I'm going to be watching from afar and definitely interested in everything that's going on. Also, I mean, it's probably better that I'm not going because it's, we don't
It's
talk
at a
about
location.
it. Yeah, we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see this group of guys get together, and it seems like Xavier, the TBT team, has kind of taken that step to like, all right, next generation of guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, fellas, if you don't mind if I clear the run rate real quick, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a bit of a rallying call, and there's been times where Cap has like gone full like conch shell, like in Anchorman, where he like summons all the troops.
Wait, so we're calling this Rally Cap?
You beautiful son of a blob.
Colonel
You.
Inside Out.
we have a podcast title already. That's done. But I wanted to kind of address something real quick because, and I kind of wanted to be really authentic. So we went on a Musketeer report, talked to Rick Browering about it, which I thought was awesome, and it was fun to kind of address it because I think last year there was a bad taste in everyone's mouth, which is more than fair. And I kind of wanted to address it a little bit, and maybe that's more for a little bit later. But first, I kind of just wanted to rally the troops a little bit, all right, because this is a big deal. And I think that for me, all I've ever wanted to do is just make the biggest impact I possibly can on Xavier basketball in any way that I possibly can. And I think that right now that is TBT. And I think TBT has a huge chance to be something that's impactful for a very, very, very long time, honoring the culture of Xavier basketball, not only for the former players, which I think is a huge piece, like, for example, like Trayvon and Makura going into the Hall of Fame and all kinds of fun stuff that comes with that. Like, I think it's a huge piece of protecting Xavier basketball culture. And I would love to see it become more of like a fraternity where like, guys like Keith Jackson, Romaine Sato, and like all the old guys come out. We do a big thing. Like, I have a lot of visions for that. But it's also a thing for us. A reason for Xavier fans to get together every summer, go to Dana's, have something to talk about, get to watch former Xavier players play at Cintas. Like, that's such a cool thing. And obviously this year it's at Fifth Third, which we're hoping to change after this year. But I think it's a big deal. And just to be completely honest, just from my perspective, like, this is a big year. Because let's be honest, last year did not go great. Like, that was a tough look. And I think this is a big year for the longevity of this thing, if I'm just being completely honest. And so if you want to help support us, we would really, really appreciate it. Just anything, hype, going to games, anything you can. Like, this is a big deal. And I would love to see it continue for a long, long time. So, yeah, that's just kind of my rallying call. Like, let's go. Like, let's show up for this thing. I think it's really – and I think if you embrace it, it's so fun. I've seen it. I've seen how much joy it's brought to people. So I would just love to see it go. So if you want to support it, I think it'd be freaking awesome for all of Xavier Nation. So let's go.
Yeah, and I think that in this new era of college basketball with the NIL, like your player base grows for the TBT. Like you're bringing in, like Dante Maddox, for example. Like he's got 1 year left, and he's going to come out and he's going to play.
That's so true.
Maybe he goes and plays at the next level, and I mean he's definitely going to play at the next level, but who knows where. But if he ends up being a guy that plays in the G League for a year or goes overseas or whatever it is, like, it's a dude that you'd never been able to touch, 10 years ago, because he's not going to transfer into Xavier. And I mean, you had graduates and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, like, with the amount of stuff, people transferring, all that stuff, all that, it really grows the player base and can really make the team better, and make it more interesting to watch. I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
You're right. The turnover is crazy. Like, I feel like our player pool will increase like 2x, 3x.
Right.
Because it's like, look at these last, like, we've never seen Xavier teams turn over this many players. Like,
No.
so you're exactly right. And then I think too, like, just calling it what it is, like, I hope we see more Xavier players in the NBA. Like, I've always been a Xavier fan who's like excited for like the next, Xavier NBA player or whatever. But like, I think that Xavier's tailor made for this event too, because I think Xavier has some of the best players that aren't in the NBA. And we have over the last 20, 30 years, like guys who are incredible players. Like, for example, the fact that Trayvon Blewett never got NBA minutes is insane to me.
Wild.
And you're going to tell me that there were 60 players that got drafted were better than Trayvon Blewett? Absolutely not. So I think this is a great showcase to show like, hey, these Xavier guys are legit.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not have had the measurables, like they may not be a 6'9" freak of nature, but that's a good basketball player. You know what I mean? And I think for our culture, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think that's been a theme for Xavier basketball players, even all the way back to when I was playing. I mean, I'm not talking about myself. I'm like talking about Tu Holloway. Like, the fact that Tu never got any real chance at the NBA. Like, look, I understand he's 5'11" on a good day, but the dude is an absolute dog, right? His shot got so much better. He's a winner. He's a court general. Like, the fact that he never got a chance is wild to me. So, and like you bring up Trayvon Blewett, like, how does he not get, I mean, he's a big shooter. How does he not get time in the NBA? I will tell you, we do got a guy on our team this year that is going to go to the NBA. And I think we all know who I'm talking about.
TBT or Xavier?
Xavier.
Does it rhyme with train?
Yes, it does. Did you see him on the Sean Miller podcast?
What happened?
The dude looks like he looks like he's grown
I've heard
10
he's put
years.
on.
Dude, he's huge. He is huge. He has like already, and I tweeted it after I watched the podcast. The dude has an NBA body already. It is crazy to see the development in me. I think they said that he got down to like, I want to say 185 pounds last year, and he's coming into the season at like 215. He's huge.
I mean, he's going to have to start like an Instagram page called like Gains by Swain or something.
Swain's Gains.
He's on that
like that.
CapEx workout and diet and stuff. Maybe you think he might be eating microwave tuna and bell peppers, Cap?
I like to think that he is. I like to think that his tuna is smoking hot and very smelly. I like to think so. And Kenny, isn't that the wild part? When I was talking to Rick, I would realize it was like all these players we're talking about, like 7, 8, 9 deep. And we're not even talking about Dalen Swain yet. I'm like, is there former Xavier teams that would have been like, this dude's going to be a huge part of this team?
Well,
like,
that's part of the thing that I talked with Rick about on Musketeer Report was like, it's kind of hard for me to see where he fits in, right? Because like you have this front court that's going to be pieced together with Fremantle as like the centerpiece, right? Hughley, however you want to say it. Hughley is, he's got some work to do on his body. He's shown potential to be a really good scorer, big body down low. Traore, super bouncy, like, and then what's the last guy? Goodness gracious, he's got the knee injury. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Fremantle?
No. I already said Fremantle.
I don't know. Who are we forgetting? I don't think we're free.
No,
Jerome?
No, not Jerome. Jerome's coming back.
A big guy?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Davion McKnight.
Fletcher?
Fletcher, that's what it is.
Okay.
He's got the knee injury. He's not going to be back for till like probably mid-season, if anything. Like they're just really unsure about it. But like you got to piece together this front court. Your back court, your back court. You have freaking McKnight, Maddox, Conwell, like insane starting three guys at the front court. And then you got to find ways to get Marcus Foster in the game. Find ways to get Trey in the game. Find ways to get freaking Dalen Swain in the game. Where does he go? He's going to play some at the 4. I can almost guarantee you that because he's big body. I'm telling you, he's big now. And then but then he's going to also play at natural position 3. So it's going to be interesting to see where he fits in.
And Roddy Anderson.
Yeah, Roddy Anderson. And I think the thing that Dalen has, because when I look at this roster, I look at a lot of skill. Mm-hmm. A lot of the guys that we brought in, a lot of your 2s and 3s. And I think what Dalen is an athlete and length. Like, and I think he maybe where other guys don't have that, that's where Dalen has his complete standout part of his game. Is he's that guy that can come in and just be a physical freak, to be honest with you.
Just score. His ability to score is going to come directly from hustle plays, rebounds, straight line drives, like that kind of stuff that's going to be, at the end of the game, it might not look like he did a lot offensively, but he might have dunked on 2 people, you know what I'm saying? Or like done something crazy to bring energy. And I think that that's going to be where he fits in and what he can really bring to the table.
We said he's a game breaker points player on Musketeer Report. Like, he's the guy that gets you a lot of game breaker points on a dunk. And then, too, if he wanted to, he could carve out a defensive stopper role if he wanted to, because there's no one on this roster other than maybe Jerome Hunter who is just that physically imposing on defense from a speed perspective, a length perspective, and now with the body. Shouts to Josh Duncan. I think he has, a lot that he can offer on that side of the floor for sure.
Agreed. Yep.
Is there a new player that you guys are most excited to watch? I know I'm not saying any player because the answer's too obvious for Kenny, but with a new player, who's the new player that you're most excited to watch, Kenny?
Dude, I don't think that I could pick between Conwell and Maddox. I think that that duo is going to be insane. Like, the fact that Conwell's a lefty, and then you have Maddox who can, I saw a stat the other day that he made 22 threes outside of 25 feet last year. 25 feet. He's shooting the ball from 2-3 feet outside NBA range.
Yeah.
Like, that is wild to me. So you think about the pace that we played with last year, and you have Maddox running down one side to the wing, Conwell running down the other side to the wing. One of them's left-handed, one of them's right-handed. The game is going so fast. You're trying to figure out who you're guarding, and all of a sudden you get a lefty who goes up, and the guy's jumping to the right side, and he's just looking at him. I really think that you're going to see that kind of stuff happen this year, and that's going to be so fun.
It's really hitting me that Xavier's going to be good.
Xavier's going to be good.
Yep.
And after a long winter that was last season, looking at rankings this season, Xavier's pre-ranked 13. I'm like, could you imagine if we're 13 in Big East play, how hyped that would be? UConn coming to Cintas and us are ranked 13 in the country. I'm like, oh my God. I think this season is going to be the biggest breath of fresh air for all of Xavier Nation. I'm so excited.
It's going to be much harder to get tickets.
Not for the Blob.
That might be true if you're not media credentialed members like us. But hey guys, only there we go. Only 4 more months till Xavier basketball season.
Yeah. Oh boy, start the count. Start the count.
But it's even crazier. I know that's a crazy stat, but we are only 22 days away from the very first preseason football game of the NFL.
Oh wow, the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
Wow.
August 1st.
Man.
How wild is that?
Yeah, that's next month.
Yeah.
Sports are picking up. Buy stock now.
I know. There's nothing on TV now. You have UFC on Saturday nights. So is there any sports going on right now?
We have a TBT appetizer coming in a week, Kenny.
Yeah, you're right.
But as of right now, besides Major League Baseball.
So no, there's nothing. Yeah. So there's your answer.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Yeah. Good podcast.
There's the Copa and the Euros.
I got into the Euros for a minute there. I was at the lake. I was at my in-laws' lake house over the weekend for 4th of July, and I watched all 4 games.
Okay, well
Friday,
that's not American at all. Watching the Euros on the 4th of July, but the Euro final.
But I was rooting against Great Britain though. So
good. So that's my next question. The Euro finals, Kenny, English or Spanish?
I think you got to go España.
Wait, so you're watching it in Spanish? The captions are in Spanish, or?
Never mind.
Okay.
And then, that's all I know about soccer.
Yeah, I know. I think that I heard that the United States had a really bad call against them in the Copa, but I'm not an expert.
They fired their coach, or I don't know what they call it.
If you listen to Twitter, it's 4 years too late. I know I've read that a couple times.
I did enjoy the text thread of Kenny getting mad at soccer about calls and stuff. I get invested in one game, and it's
right, yeah.
It was hilarious. Loved it.
I don't understand the soccer calls yet.
Before we
did you see that handball?
No.
Never mind. Go ahead.
That's a great sport. Yeah. Loved it in gym. Big handball guy.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Before we ditch the TBT topic and close that, can we do a quick TBT team preview real quick before we jump in the next step?
Absolutely.
Yes,
and we got the TBT insider. We might as well get the message out to the world.
I'm not going to do the ER joke. I promised. So here's the roster we're looking at. So essentially, Zip 'em Up has 7 Xavier guys committed to the group. I think there's going to be some grad transfers added. One more former Xavier guy, I think, to fill a role. But you've got Paul Scruggs. So I'll give you the starting lineup that I think that I would predict. I think your point guard is going to be Paul Scruggs. I think your shooting guard is going to be Adam Kunkel. I think your 3 guard is going to be Nate Johnson. I think at the 4, you'll have Trayvon Blewett playing a small 4 like he did at Xavier. I think at 5, you'll have James Farr. I think off the bench, you have Malcolm Bernard, who in my opinion is like a cookie-cut, perfect 6-man. And then you also have Remy Abel, who's like a dog defender, downhill slasher. I think really complements all those shooters because that your 2, 3, 4 are just all knockdown shooters. So I think you have an interesting group of like bulldog point guard, 6'3", 6'4", physical Paul Scruggs, surrounded by shooters, Kunkel, Trey, and Johnson, who Johnson's the most underrated zip-em-up player, in my opinion, that we've had. And then you have James Farr. And if he can bring his lunch pail and rebound and do everything we need him to do down low, you have that. You have a Swiss Army knife in Malcolm Bernard, and then a dog defender, downhill slasher in Remy Abel. So that's your 7. And then we'll have some other guys that'll fill in as well in other roles. But that's your group. Initial thoughts?
I think just the shooters that we have. I mean, and I can say we because,
You can't? Do you want to make a quick announcement?
I'm on the Zip 'em Up staff. It's, it is what it is.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Coop's going to be working game day, baby.
Scoop.
I'm I'm a role player. That's all I can say.
Hey.
Not a player, but a role. I have a role. Literally, go to Zip 'em Up.
Coop and I are talking about doing like weird like pranks and like trolling the camera.
Yeah,
like
he should be holding a roll on the bench, just eating a roll the whole time.
Roll, Blob,
he's a role player. That the tweets make themselves.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing this. We have to talk about this offline because
we will. But back to my initial thought, just the shooters. I feel like for TBT, I mean, of course, it's still a physical game, but if you can outscore other teams, like that's how you win.
Well,
so,
I mean, and I know that you're. I don't know if you were saying that as a joke, but you're actually like in a tournament.
It was not a joke.
Yeah, but like in a tournament like this, just like NCAA tournament, TBT, like there are similarities there, in the sense that like guards are going to win you those tournaments. I mean, when's the last time that you really saw, like a super dominant big man just win an NCAA tournament for a team? Like that, it doesn't.
2011.
Okay. It's been quite a while then, yeah? No, but you get what I'm saying though. Like you need to have those backcourt players that can push the pace, that can make shots, and that's going to translate no matter who you're playing against, even if the team maybe is on paper better than you.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think here's what I'm excited about. And this is no shot towards anybody, but I think at times the fallacy in TBT can be everyone just wants to see a bunch of names. Everyone wants to see you go get Crawford and, Derek Brown and, get Jalen Reynolds, get everybody. And that's great. But I think that a roster on paper doesn't necessarily equate to good basketball.
Yep.
And like, for example, like Jordan Crawford, amazing player. But do you think that 12 other guys want to come out and watch Jordan Crawford, take 40 shots? Probably not.
Probably if he's scoring 85 points, yeah.
Well, that would be fun. But I guess what I'm saying is like, you have all these guys that come out and want to play a role and have this,
right.
and that's great. And they were all amazing players,
right?
So it's like it's tough when like there's a 10th guy in the rotation who was the first guy in the rotation in his playing days at Xavier, and that's a tough thing to manage, I think. So I'm excited for this group because I think sometimes less can be more. I mean, if you look at college rosters, what's an ideal rotation? 8, maybe 9, 7 in the NCAA tournament. So I think you have a group that knows what it is and has. I think a lot of unselfish pieces, a lot of like team ball. A lot of these guys played together. Yeah. I think the ball's going to move really, really well. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. I think that it's going to be a fun group.
And the TBT isn't exact. It's not a grueling tournament. You don't need to have a rotation of 12 guys. You know what I mean? Like it's
at most 6 games.
Right.
It's a sprint. You know what I mean?
I agree with you though. Like there's definitely something to be said for. You're not necessarily looking for a Xavier All-Star team. You're looking for a Xavier team that can play well together and win a tournament.
I agree. As much as the Xavier All-Star team would be really fun, because that would be awesome.
And I mean, you guys have had years where it was like that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
you had chances to win every single game. It's not like they
They're-
were getting run off the court, but at the same time, like you could tell watching some of those teams that it was like, okay, some of these guys they're out here playing for a contract, and that's not necessarily what you're looking for when you're coming together as a team trying to win a tournament.
And to be fair, there are years where I was actually watching some highlights last night. Like there are years where the ball bounces a different way and we go way farther. You know what I mean? Like so that's just what happens in a single elimination tournament. Whatever. But I'm excited to see this group. I'm excited to see it happen. And there's a added element of coming off a tough season and we're going to UC. So there's like a man up element.
There's a man sure that this is the first year that the TBT has happened that there hasn't been somebody that I played with.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to think.
That's wild.
Because, well, I guess it would have only been Cheeks, right? That I've played
Even
with
like
team.
Maybe someone professionally that you played with, but yeah, Cheeks was the only one that was coinciding with your Xavier days. Yeah.
You never crossed over with Jeff Robinson, did you? That was a little later one. Did you? Okay.
Yeah, he was there. He was a year younger than me.
Okay.
Is that
Maybe
it?
2 years. I can't remember. It's a long time ago, Coop. I mean, I only got so much space in here.
I got you.
More than me and Coop, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm excited to see it happen. I think it's going to be a good group, and I'm just hoping we get a good turnout, man. Because I know that, like, just to be completely candid, I know last year was tough, and it was hard for me, like, to lose to UC like that on our home floor. Like,
well, I think that one thing that people don't understand how much work Cat puts into it, and he's not going to sit here and toot his own horn or whatever and talk about it, but like the amount of work that goes into putting, and I was there firsthand last year and I saw it. I mean, this dude from probably 5 hours before game time, and I mean, it goes for weeks before that, but 5 hours before game day, he's running around, literally sweating through his clothes. He's got to change before the game starts. Like, he puts so much work into it. So when you see how passionate he is about it, and when you hear how much he's talking about it, like, it's because it's basically his baby. He helped put all this together, and he's been working on it for so long. So I really hope that this year goes well and we can build on it, because I have talked with Keith Jackson and CJ and Two and Cheeks and all those guys. Like, it would be a great thing where if you have a team, if it's at Cintas Center and that team is good and they're probably going to make it through the first weekend, you're going to start to see all these guys come back. And, we've talked about trying to do like a roll blob golf outing that weekend and just like different things like that before it happens. Like, that would be so fun. And I think that vision is something that would just be like so perfectly Xavier, just like that, like camaraderie and just the way that the community is and the way that the fans are and how all of the players are kind of like this fraternity. Like, I don't know any former players that don't like each other. You know what I mean?
That's so beautifully said. And that is honestly my vision. And not to get into anything specific, but I think that we're really on the doorstep of this thing really becoming what it should be. Because I think if we get that full investment from all the right people, like, Kenny, how much everyone loves Xavier basketball. It's a special place to everyone that's been through Cintas and even the Gardens before that. So, like, I really think we're on the precipice of that. But I think this is a big campaign this season to keep it on the rails, because, like, if you go 2 years in a row of tough outings, like, we're going to UC this year. Like, it's a risky move going to UC. And if we play them, it would be in the Sweet 16. If we fumble this year, it's a tough look. 2 years in a row of, people are going to be out. I mean, there's been a lot of, let's just be honest, there's been a lot of discourse of people from last year. Like, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? Like, I paid my hard-earned money to come out and, watch us, essentially get punked on our home floor by UC. Let's just call it what it is. So, I think it's a big season, and I think the fan support goes a long way of just building the energy. That's something that I saw firsthand, Kenny, being down there, is like the fans have a huge impact on the energy. Like, and you know how it is. Like, one energetic switch flips the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time, like, one JP McCura Gator chomp up in Columbus to the fans changed the entire dynamic of the whole game, and we just dominated. Like, from start to, like, it's crazy. So, we would love your support and love to see, this thing continue to build. Because as long as there's breath in my lungs, Kenny, I'm gonna fight like hell for this fucking thing.
No, I know.
Like, sorry for dropping the F-bomb, but
I just wanted to say it because I don't think that people really understand. It's not just like, hey, Cheeks, you want to come play? Yeah, sure, be there in a week. That's not what it is. It's so much more that goes into it, and raising money to have a place for the players to stay. Just everything. It's just. It's a lot. I played in it not for Xavier. It was before zip 'em up was a thing, but like, going through the practice and just knowing, I knew the guy well that put the team together and finding hotels for us to stay in. Like, it is not an easy thing to do. So, number one, thank you for doing it, because I think that Xavier fans, if they have that opportunity to watch a really good zip 'em up team, watch really competitive basketball in the summer, I think that's something that Xavier fans will absolutely eat alive. But it's got to be a good product.
And 1,000%, last thing I'll say is it's just so cool having a reason to go to Cintas, having a reason to see Dana's just jumping like in the middle of summer. Like, and that's what makes me excited about it, is that opportunity because the off season sucks. That's one thing about college basketball that I always like hated, is how long the off season is. So I think this is just a special treat to like have a reason to go watch Trayvon Blewett and Kunkel. And it's so cool. I was watching a game last night, and I was like, how cool is it that like Mark Lyons just had an assist to Trayvon Blewett? Like, that's just a cool thing to see. You know what I mean? So I think the potential is endless. Like I would love to think of like having a Quincy like a Quincy. Like, how cool would that be to have him come back? Like, the opportunities are endless with this thing. So I would just love to see it become what it should be and continue to go on for a long time. But
yeah, congrats to Quincy, by the way, signing a summer league. Lakers.
Friend of the podcast, people forget.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody forgets. Nobody forgets.
That's a joke, because literally we talk about it all the time.
Yeah. But no, it's really cool. And then like the coolest part to me outside of the game is just post-game Dana's. You're just, it's crowded as can be, and then you're just standing there waiting to get your drink, and then 2 Holloway walks by. Then you look over and there's James Farr. Then you look over and there's JP McCura. Then you look over and there's Kenny Freese holding like a pitcher of beer that looks like a fun size little Miller Lite, but just the people that you see there, you see Ian there,
I've never had a hard time seeing more than 3 people in front of me at Dana's before. Like, then there's always one night during TBT where Dana's is just on fire. And it is.
Remember the one night that we went, I can't remember what night it was, but we go walking in, and Cheeks just comes walking into the bar, and he ordered like, do you remember this? He ordered like 7 hamburgers and like 100 wings, and he just walked in and he pulled out like $2,000 and $100 bills, and he's just like handing BJ money.
Remember when like
so
Mark?
Funny.
It's hilarious.
Mark was like bullying the staff because like Trayvon ordered a burger at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
they're like,
crazy. They were like, kitchen's closed, and he was like, "No, you're gonna get Trayvon his burger."
He's like, "That's Trayvon freaking Blewett, man. He's scored 2,000 some points."
Before you know it, you hear that freaking click of the fryer, and they're getting the burger going.
And as they should.
Well, the guys at Dana's, like, it's still some of the same guys that worked. I mean, obviously Herschel's there, and but some of those same guys I still know from when I was playing, and they've always been friends of the program for sure. So.
No question. Honestly, shouts to Dana's for all they do, because those
BJ has that place. I mean, he's definitely calmed down now. But when I was in school, I wish you guys could have seen BJ when I was in school. He was a different beast back then, man.
Would love to hear some stories, but no, it's going to be special, and I'm excited for the. Let's bring this thing back to Cintas. Is the last thing I'm going to say.
Yep. Well, and I mean, I don't think that there's any. I still am a firm believer that they didn't play at Cintas this year because of renovations, because they're doing renovations, right?
Yeah, they are.
So I mean, it's like, I just feel like that has to be the reason. Why would you want to go to a worse place? You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying that just as like, I don't like UC, because clearly I don't, but it's just not as good of a gym.
Just
so why would you want to go there if you had Cintas Center at your disposal?
It's an objective fact. It's going to be really weird walking in there, because when I think of TBT now, I think of Cintas. It's going to be really weird when that sets in. But it'll be a good motivator.
But luckily, we do have the blessing of just being a few minutes down the road and don't have to, travel a couple hours or anything like that. So the fan support should still be there. If you haven't got your tickets yet, go get them. Cap said it on the Musketeer Report. Just Google TBT tickets. Go to the Roll Blob Twitter. There's a link there too. And if you buy a ticket, you also get a ticket to the following game, which is Nasty Natty. Maybe you have a girlfriend that went to UC or something and want to stick around for it. What you should do, watch the Zip 'em Up game, watch them win, leave, go to Dana's, and then do it all again on, I think it'd be Sunday. So, get your tickets. They're affordable.
What time is the game on Friday?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
Eastern
6
Standard
p.m.
Time.
And
Perfect.
Kenny will be live tweeting, so there's that.
I will be live tweeting.
So I think anything else we want to talk about on TBT? I think we're zipped up on that.
I think we're zipped up.
I think I rambled
You
enough.
still have the body bag.
Oh, if you can't get tickets, do you know where those people could watch the game? I know TBT.
Yeah, we'll put out. Yeah, if you follow Zip 'em Up on Twitter, we'll put out info for that. They're going to be streaming on the site. It's through Fox, but yeah, it'll be streaming on the TBT
It's through
site.
Fox this year?
Yeah,
Wasn't it-
Fox bought it out. Fanta's covering freaking Hinkle, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
Good for
but
him.
that's actually cool that Fox, bought it out there. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a fun product.
So
yeah.
is it going to be on like FS1 or is it going to be on the app for the
We
first
won't
couple
play on
rounds?
FS1 in our first game. I think if we win, we play on FS2, I think.
Okay, so the first
Let
one will
me-
probably be on the app.
It'll be on the app, the first one. Yeah.
Cool.
So it'll be cool, man. I'm excited. I have a friend that I work with who's a huge Florida State fan, which is weird because forget Florida State. But I say this to say, Dynasty League.
Yeah.
There's a certain college football game coming out here real soon, and I want to see a Xavier created team with a 7-foot quarterback with a speed rating of 99.
Yeah, so I think that for that, just as like some content, I think it would be super fun to sit down for like, it'll take a long time, but like 2 hours, and we'll just like all be on a stream,
Yeah.
and we'll just make a Xavier team with, and like, I mean, I could play like a season with them or something like that, but I
Yeah.
think that just making the team would be sick. So
That makes like the little kid in me like super happy. Like
Yeah.
I've done that so many times. Like you're just in the basement like with your friends,
Mhm.
just like creating like just students.
Yeah.
That's like the most like 12-year-old sleepover energy right there for
yeah,
sure.
that would be a lot of fun. But then
That'd be super fun.
so we are going to do the Dynasty League. The one caveat that kind of put a damper on things is that the Dynasty League is not crossplay. So I'm not playing the game on Xbox because I just can't do it. So it's going to be the Dynasty League is going to be on PS5. So anybody that wants to play, either DM me, the Roll Blob account, one of the Blob Boys, and just let them know that you're interested. I'm going to start putting together a group. I'm hoping to get somewhere between like 8 and 12 people, and we'll kind of just go from there. And we'll play through the first year, kind of see how it works, and then hopefully maybe add some people, or if people want to drop off and just kind of keep going for a couple years through the thing, because I think you can get through a year. If you're advancing the week like once a week, let's say, so then it's not too much pressure to actually play the game and all that stuff. I don't want it to be a burden on people, but you can get through a whole season in a month or like two and a half months. So but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
I think it's just another cool way for us just to continue to put content out there. Like as we have talked about like summer content. Like it's just a fun way to it'll be organic. People ask questions, make it like a little live stream kind of deal. I think it'll be just a fun way to stay connected with everybody.
Yeah,
And
and if it's
do we get a
possible for
trophy
me to
made?
play, what's that?
Do we get a trophy made, like a Blobby National Championship?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh. Winner gets a blobby? Question mark?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we got to do the Blobby National Championship.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
I think that's where you got to go with it.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, it's separate. Yeah,
Yeah.
Roll Blob National Championship.
Yeah. But what was it? If it's possible and we can make a team that like is actually fair and like actually give the Xavier players good like stats that wouldn't make the team like too crazy, I wonder if I could actually just play with that Xavier team in the Dynasty League, because that would be fun.
Now that's what I've been thinking about. Like importing a Xavier team.
Yeah.
Dalen Swain, obviously at receiver.
But it would have to be like legit stats, right? I can't just make everybody
you can't
99
break 'em.
overalls. You know what I mean?
I agree. You got to make it to where they'd be like a decently competitive, but we're not going to, like you said, I agree with you. I have one question for you. Can I be the kicker and can Coop be the punter on the Xavier team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or vice versa, Coop, if you have a huge preference either way.
I'm cool with punter.
Okay.
As a kid, I fantasized about being the holder.
I was
Now
going to
that's
say,
extra
if you'd
point
be the
goal.
punter and the placeholder,
Okay, yeah,
that'd be perfect.
yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's going to be rough for me. It's like snaps it to Coop. Coop.
Yeah.
Coop.
Yeah.
Cap kicks the ball.
Yeah,
Tony Romo fumble. Like, it's like, what happened? Kenny didn't know who it was. He was confused.
one of
It's
those
both of
guys.
us come out there. I love it. But no, it's going to be great content, man. Great
Yeah,
content.
that'll be good.
So what else do we have? I know we have some questions from Ian and Ahmad.
Coop has
Shouts to Ian and
a physical piece of paper
They're on
that
paper.
has some ideas on it. So I think that, oh my gosh. Dude,
Guys, before we get to that, there's something that we have not done yet, and I'm disappointed in us. Everyone say, good evening, Ahmad.
Good evening, Ahmad.
Good evening, Ahmad.
If you're a real one, put good evening, Ahmad in the Discord.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I spoke with Ahmad on the phone earlier today because
Weird flex.
yeah,
W.
yeah, and yeah. Well, I needed the soccer update because like I follow it from afar,
Right.
and
From
he
very
gave me,
far.
yeah, he gave me all these ideas, and then I ended up just taking the stupidest route possible for like a small little joke that maybe 10 people listening will understand from earlier. But that was Ahmad's input was soccer. Ian had a ton of input. I've chosen 3 things to talk about. They're kind of, quick
Out of how
hitters.
many?
Not that many, but some were
Okay.
just ones.
No, I'm not the content's not important because it's just funny because sometimes Ian will just spam like 15, 20 questions and we're like, dude.
Yeah, but they're all great questions.
Yeah, they're all
I'm
great
not
questions,
disputing- I'm
but
not
we can't be here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just think it's funny to see just the behind the scenes look of how many questions Ian asks.
They're all
I mean,
they're all thinkers.
And they're all just off the top of the head. Like
He's a
I'll
maniac.
ask, and then 3 minutes later, there's 15 questions. I'm like, how's he?
You'll ask, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about how many like miniature sized Buzz Lightyears you can take out with a baseball bat before
Yeah.
they get to you. You know,
And that's the thing about it. You answer one question, and there's already 10 new questions. It's like, dude, I can't.
Yeah,
It's a never-ending game.
we could start a whole other podcast, like just
Yeah.
off of Ian's freestyle questions. But
Yeah.
did Cartoon Network die or something?
Why do you ask?
Because the question was from Ian, and he said, since Cartoon Network has died, what were your favorite Cartoon Network shows?
Well, one, R.I.P. Cartoon Network.
Yeah, if they have died.
Or
I mean,
Ian.
But you know what's crazy to me though is like Cartoon Network, and I don't know that I could exactly tell you what channel the cartoons that I used to watch were on. You know what I mean? Like I would just watch cartoons.
Yeah, so you don't have an association of what network they were on.
Right.
So
I mean,
if
like
I
I
said
know
Rocket Power, dude,
I mean,
you
I
know
would
what?
think, is that Nickelodeon?
That's Nickelodeon.
I mean,
Yeah.
that one has to be, right? But like, what was
Yeah.
like Ren and Stimpy on? Did you guys watch that show?
I want
Ooh,
to say
that
that's Cartoon Network.
that was at the very beginning of my childhood. I don't know. Channel 27, I think it was on.
Yeah, see.
Channel 27.
Was
He
Channel
knows the
27
numbers.
Cartoon Network? Or?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
And then 28 was Nick, and then
That's
don't know what 29 was. ESPN was 30.
it's actually very nostalgic thinking about. Yeah, I did the same thing. ESPN was definitely 30 or 31. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the days.
So Dexter's Lab, for instance, was a Cartoon
Cartoon
Network one.
See,
I'm a big. I actually have an answer to this. I'm a big Johnny Bravo guy.
Love Johnny Bravo.
Man,
A big Johnny Bravo guy.
I was, and I know this wasn't Cartoon Network, but probably my favorite cartoon of all time as a kid was Hey Arnold. I loved that
Yes.
show. Hey Arnold, Doug, Rocket Power, Recess.
All right, so you were a big
Rugrats.
Nickelodeon guy.
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
absolutely.
I don't know what Recess was on. I want to say Recess is like ABC or,
I don't
one
even
of those
know. I really
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure what Recess was.
but it's just funny that we're asking Cartoon Network and Kenny just lists off a bunch of Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, like you could have told me that any of those shows were on Cartoon Network. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I don't know.
Cartoon
going John B.
Network is the Xbox of cartoon channels.
wow.
To Kenny.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to think out of my favorite. I do think the best cartoons probably were Nickelodeon cartoons, but I'm gonna go.
Nickelodeon's definitely the GOAT, no question.
I'm gonna go with one kind of towards the later
Did
part
they
of my
have,
childhood.
We got
Courage
Scooby
the Cowardly
Doo.
Dog, though. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was good. Ed, Ed, and Eddie was good.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie's a banger.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is my pick.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's. Have you actually seen that?
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry tales.
T and J. I'm going Ed, Ed, and Eddie
Oh,
as the GOAT.
dude, Pinky and the Brain.
Oh
What
yeah.
a show that was.
What are we gonna do today, Brian?
Yeah, I watched
Dude,
a ton
that
of
was-
cartoons. I haven't done the shows or movies, but cartoons I watched all of them.
Yep. That was Pinky and the Brain was fantastic. But then like, man, I have a feeling that Dragon Tales. Did you guys ever watch that?
Yes,
I actually loved Dragon
Yeah.
Tales.
I did too.
Dragon Man, I never watched it, but because this would have been when I was like 15. But Teen Titans, I remember hearing people talk about that a lot.
Yeah, I liked that one.
But I was never a Johnny Bravo guy.
Really?
Did you actively dislike it?
No, I just never watched it.
Just never got into it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, see, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I would have been a freshman in high school for the first season of that one.
Yeah, I was. It was towards the end of my childhood, very end of it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when the end of my childhood is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you said making a Xavier Dynasty League team, saying that's 12-year-old sleepover, whatever, I'm like, Cap, that's something you and I do would do at age 30
Right.
on a
Literally.
normal day. You know what
we were driving home from. I was driving home from South Carolina a few weeks ago with my wife and my 3 kids, and I looked over at my wife at one point. I was like, "Isn't it crazy that we're allowed to just have 3 kids driving across the country? Like, it just doesn't seem like we're ready for that yet."
Yeah, right. I don't know. Adulthood's crazy. You know what we did, Kenny, on the 4th of July?
The 4th
Me
of July.
and Cap and Mason were hanging out. We ranked the state flags, and then Cap over here was saying, making us guess what like the largest states were by land mass, by GDP,
That
countries.
would have been a
by
good
GDP.
podcast. We were locked in.
We were
Locked in on best
we were
state
getting
flag.
kind of heated over it. The
No, I
state
was-
flag stuff's fun. I didn't know I was a
State
flag
flags are
guy.
crazy, by the way. I know this isn't a topic for right now, dude. Alaska, like, dude, what are these? What are these?
Kentucky's flag trash.
The Alabama dude just moved down to Florida and like took
Horrible
the freaking
flags.
took a circle off of it. It's wild. Anyway. This should be something we talk about on one of the streams. Like, this is definitely like a dynasty mode conversation because it's insane.
Yep. If
wanna
you
start
made it
yelling.
this far in the podcast, tweet us a picture of your favorite state flag. We have 2 more questions here. Cap, what's your favorite summer song?
My favorite summer song? That's a fantastic question. Off the top of my head, The Thrill, Wiz Khalifa. A lot of Quinn comes up. I'm going to say The Thrill by Wiz Khalifa off the top of my dome. Or Cooped Up / Return of the Mac.
Cooped Up.
Or Betty. Elite summer
Eddie,
song.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will never,
Such a good song.
ever leave Dana's and not listen to that song.
It's a great song.
Ever.
It is.
Kenny, what's your
That
favorite?
memory is burned into my brain.
Man, probably. I don't even know the name of it, but I've just been listening to it a ton lately. Is that freaking "Pour Me Out a Double Shot of Whiskey" song?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Every
I
time
don't
I
know
hear
what
it, I'm just like, yeah, it's time to start drinking.
Fair enough. I'm going anything by Morgan Wallen, any upbeat Morgan Wallen song. Sue me. I like his music.
Yeah.
Coop's playlist is awesome.
Coop is very pro throwing chairs off of second-story buildings.
It's not that big of a deal. Just a
The
chair.
Drake to Morgan Wallen.
He just
revolving
almost
door
hit him.
is so funny.
Yeah, it's just attempted
Have
murder.
you guys listened to the new Eminem song, Toby?
Toby's fire.
It's incredible.
Not.
What's
So
the
good.
lyric? What's the lyric?
Oh man, Toby Maguire got bit by a spider, but see, for me, it was a goat.
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
lit? Were you lit when you sent that tweet?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I knew it,
Wait,
yes.
was I? What? I don't know. No,
I saw
actually,
that
I
tweet,
wasn't.
so-
I wasn't because
What?
I was driving home. I was driving home from work the first time that I heard it, and
That
I was
song-
just like, dude, this is because this first one was just like, it was okay,
Yeah.
you know, but this last one, I was like, all right, fine.
I can't believe I was wrong. I saw that tweet. I was like, he was lit. Good on you.
That'll be on that song has been in my head every single day since I heard it.
God, if you were at Dana's, we would. I wish you were coming down this summer, man.
I know.
We'd go crazy.
Yeah.
But vacation number 7 has to happen, you know.
You got to get it in.
How many
It's,
vacations? That's just facts right there. How many vacations have you been on this summer?
Just, I go and visit my in-laws and stuff, but true vacations, just this will be a second one.
Oh, okay. It just feels like you've been out of town a lot.
Is that your favorite summer activity, you would say? Vacation?
Vacationing?
Yep.
No, my favorite summer activity is probably
Drinking.
golfing, but I don't get to golf very much. I mean, I've played like 5 times this year, and which is average, but I would much rather golf like every weekend.
Fair enough. That was
but I suck at it. It's like, so I'm just
Yeah.
out there. Oh, never mind.
It's golf's a tough sport.
Yeah. Well, that was the third and final question from Ian. Favorite summer activity. Cap, what's yours?
Yeah, it would be
summer
a
activity.
toss up between golf and cornhole for me. I love playing cornhole.
Okay.
And I'm really good at cornhole.
Have you got into pickleball yet?
I haven't, but I've been thinking about it. My brother-in-law Jared is just he's a freak at everything he does. I can't explain it.
Oh, that's right.
He's just really, really good at everything. And I told him that we need to start practicing, and we'll use his athleticism and my size, and we're just going to take down the Ohio circuit. I'm going to be traveling all over the state, just taking people down. Tyler Hansbrough style. I heard that he's really big into it, and he kind of gave me the inspiration to get out there.
Yep.
You got inspiration from Tyler Hansbrough.
I did more than once in my life.
That's a good name drop right there.
Yeah.
We're friends with a guy who's talked to Tyler Hansbrough, Coop. That's pretty cool.
I didn't talk to him. I just saw it on his Twitter.
Okay.
I talked to him when I was in high school, but I didn't talk to him
Well, still.
about pickleball.
Okay, you still talk to him.
Yeah,
Coop
right.
still applies, Coop. Still applies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coop poops.
Cap, favorite summer activity.
I love, playing piggyback, especially with the guy as big as Kenny. But I'm going to have to say, you give me a barbecue, some good music, and some cornhole, I'm going to be having a freaking blast. If there's a pool there, it's over. I'm just.
Oh, just real quick too, Cap and Coop. The 4th annual pig roast is coming up Labor Day weekend.
See, I wanted to bring it up, but I didn't want to make it public.
Nobody knows where it is.
Elite.
Yeah.
It is. So we're officially invited.
Oh, absolutely.
Are we nationally invited?
No.
Okay.
Regionally invited.
Regionally invited.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. It's insane. His family likes to drink. I will say that.
We got a crew. There was 200 people there last year.
I got told to shotgun a beer, and then they handed me literally a shotgun, and I was like, "This is different."
It's actually called a shot fun.
It was a shot, and it was fun, so it fits.
Yep.
It fits.
Yeah.
It fits it.
Well, to close out the podcast, my favorite summer activity is supporting Zip 'em Up and playing in the TBT tournament. Don't forget to buy your tickets. Go to the tournament's website. Go to the Roll Blob Twitter. There's a link there. Buy your tickets. Come out, support the guys. Come support Cap. He works his ass off for it. Come support the former Xavier basketball players that you've maybe grown up loving to watch.
All right.
Whatever.
I think I want to change my favorite summer activity to donating to the final 2%.
That too.
To the moon.
Hey, fellas, it has been been a lot of fun. We haven't been keeping up with the content as much as we would have liked, I think, this summer. But hey, life gets in the way. A lot of stuff has been happening with Xavier, but I'm really excited about the path that we're all on. We definitely got more content coming up here in the next month or so as we push into football season and all that stuff, and then we're going to be rolling. It's not that far away. I mean, preseason, like really watching Xavier playing in when they went out to the Bahamas and stuff, like that was almost a year ago. So we're getting close.
Content, buy stock now. Yeah. Coop, when are you going on a Musketeer report?
I turned down the offer. I'm just too busy.
We almost made it a 3-peat.
Yeah. But hey, good podcast, Kenny. 2 more words.
Stay blobbing.